Think and grow rich still works if you understand this. Wealth begins in the mind. I have spent more than 25 years of my life studying the habits of successful men. Not the kind of success that comes and goes with the markets or fame that fades with time. I studied the men who built legacies, men who started with nothing but created everything, from nothing more than an idea. And through these years, I've arrived at one conclusion that I repeat to you now with no hesitation. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This truth is not a theory. It's not a poetic dream. It is a law, as real as gravity, as powerful as electricity. And it still works today, just as it did 100 years ago. Most people never realize this. They walk through life reacting, not thinking. They drift instead of directing their destiny. They blame their past, their parents, their poverty, their circumstances. But very few dare to take control of the one force that determines everything else: thought. Your mind is not a passive container. It is the workshop where every fortune is forged, or forever lost. Let me ask you directly, do you control your thoughts, or do they control you? Do you wake up with a purpose, or do you let the world decide what your day will be? Do you build your future in your imagination first, or do you just hope for something better someday? The truth is simple. All success begins not with money, not with connections, not with education, but with a clear, burning, definite purpose that lives in your mind. That's where wealth is born. Not in the bank, not in the business, not in the stock market, in your imagination. All achievements, all earned riches have their beginning in an idea. Napoleon Hill. An idea held tightly, believed deeply, and pursued relentlessly becomes a reality. But only if you are brave enough to believe in it before anyone else does. I do not speak to you from theory. I speak to you from experience and from the testimonies of hundreds of men who started exactly where you are. They did not wait for the world to change. They changed themselves, and the world followed. Let me be clear. Success is not easy, but it is simple. You don't need genius. You don't need a lucky break. You need one thing: a mind that refuses to give up on its vision. A man with a burning desire, guided by faith and backed by persistence, can bend reality to his will. You doubt it? Look around. Every building, every invention, every business, every fortune started as a single thought in someone's mind. So I ask you again, what do you think about all day long? Do you spend your hours visualizing your goal or worrying about your fears? Do you feed your mind with faith or poison it with doubt? The greatest poverty is not in the wallet. It's in the mind of the man who no longer believes. And the greatest wealth is not in gold or land. It's in the thoughts that shape your reality. You want to change your life? Change what you think about every single day. Discipline your mind like a soldier disciplines his body. Protect your thoughts like a castle guards its gates. Let no doubt enter. Let no fear take root. Your mind is the only thing you truly own, and the only thing you need to build everything else. Do not wait for motivation to find you. Create it, feed it, build it. Every morning, remind yourself, today I plant seeds of wealth with every thought I think. If you hold your vision, if you act with purpose, if you never let go of your belief, the universe must obey. That is the law. It does not care about your past. It does not care where you were born. It only responds to your thought and your faith in that thought. I will tell you something few people understand. The mind is both your prison and your wings. If you think like the average man, you will live like the average man. But if you dare to think like a king, nothing on this earth can stop you. There is no such thing as luck. There is only cause and effect, thought and result, belief and consequence. Everything else is noise. And if you still don't believe me, if you think this is just a nice idea for books and speeches, I challenge you to test it. For 30 days, think only of what you want. Reject every fear. Destroy every doubt. Feed your mind only with images of success, of impact, of legacy, and you will begin to feel the world around you change. I speak these words not just to inspire you, but to wake you up. You were not born to be average. You were born to direct your destiny. You were born to master your mind, and through it, your life. Think and grow rich. Not because thinking magically makes money appear, but because right thinking leads to right actions, and right actions, over time, build a life of greatness. Desire, the starting point of all achievement. People often ask me, what's the first step to wealth? Is it knowledge? Is it hard work? Is it education? And I answer them with the one truth most are not ready to hear. Wealth begins with desire. Not a wish, not a hope, but a burning, definite desire. There are millions of people who say they want more money, more time, more freedom. But most of them don't truly want it. They just wish for it, like a child wishes for candy. Wishing is passive, desire is active, and the difference between the two is the difference between success and stagnation. I've sat with powerful men who built empires from nothing, and when I asked them how they began, they all gave the same answer. I was hungry. I burned for something better. I couldn't sleep at night knowing I was made for more. They were obsessed, consumed, unwilling to accept anything less than their vision. That is desire. You see, desire is the engine. It's what gets you out of bed when you'd rather sleep. It's what keeps you going when the world laughs at you. It's what separates those who try from those who triumph. Without desire, your goals are hollow. Your actions lack soul. Your persistence dies at the first obstacle. Let me be clear. You will never become rich by accident. No man stumbles into greatness. You must want it, and want it so badly that nothing else matters more, that every setback becomes fuel, that every failure becomes a lesson, that the world itself starts bending around your will, because your desire is stronger than its resistance. Do you have that kind of desire, or do you just say you do? Because life will test you, and if your desire is weak, it will break. If it is strong, nothing can stop you. I often tell the story of Edwin C. Barnes. He wanted to work with Thomas Edison. Not for him, with him. He didn't have money. He didn't have credentials. He didn't even know Edison personally. But he had one thing: desire. A desire so strong that he traveled across the country by freight train just to get a chance to speak to Edison. And when he arrived, he didn't beg. He didn't plead. He said, "I have come to go into business with you." Most would have laughed. Edison did not, because he recognized that fire in Barnes's eyes, the fire of purpose. Years passed. Barnes started with the smallest job in Edison's company, but he never stopped thinking about that goal, to become Edison's partner. He fed the desire daily. He kept the vision alive. And one day, an opportunity came. A product Edison created. No one could sell it. Barnes said, "Let me try." He succeeded, massively, and from that point on, he became Edison's official business partner, the very dream he had once dared to declare. Desire made it possible. Not luck, not education, not talent. Desire. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desire brings weak results, just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat. Napoleon Hill. So I ask you again, what do you truly desire? Not what sounds good, not what looks good on social media. What sets your soul on fire? If I took everything from you today, what dream would still keep you going? That's the one you must pursue, not casually, not someday, now, today, with everything you've got. And let me warn you, desire alone is not enough. It must be specific. It must be written down. It must be clear. You cannot hit a target you cannot see, and you cannot pursue a dream you've never defined. So define it, write it, read it every morning, feel it every night, speak it aloud until it becomes real in your heart. That's how you train your subconscious mind to follow your vision without hesitation. Desire is the spark, but it must become a flame, and that flame must be fed every single day, with thought, with faith, with action. If you stop feeding it, it dies. If you ignore it, it fades. But if you nurture it, it grows so big the world cannot ignore you anymore. There are no shortcuts. There are no secrets. There is only desire, and what you are willing to sacrifice for it. And let me tell you, the price is always worth it, because the man who pursues his true purpose lives a life no money can buy. Do not fear wanting too much. Fear settling for too little. Do not fear dreaming too big. Fear dying with your dreams still inside you. You were born to want. You were born to desire. That's how every great legacy began, with one man, one woman, who said, "I will not accept a life of quiet desperation." Desire is not greedy. Desire is divine. It is the voice of your soul calling you forward, to rise, to act, to become more. So listen to it, honor it, and use it as the fuel for the life you were born to create. This is where your journey begins, not with money, not with luck, but with one decision. I will not die with my potential buried in. I will rise, I will think, and I will grow rich. Faith and persistence, the unseen forces behind wealth. People often ask me, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I try and the world shuts its doors in my face? And I tell them the same truth I've repeated for decades. You don't fail because your dream is too big. You fail because your faith is too small. Without faith, your desire becomes fragile. It cracks at the first sign of resistance. It dies when the world doubts you because you already doubted yourself. But when your faith is unshakable, you become unstoppable. Faith is not blind belief. It is the ability to see the invisible, to trust the process when the outcome isn't clear, to move forward when there's no applause, no support, no sign of success. Yet you keep moving. Why? Because your vision is more real to you than your current reality. Faith is the head chemist of the mind, I wrote once, and I meant it. It mixes with your thoughts and emotions, turning your ideas into belief and your belief into action. When you believe in something with your whole being, your subconscious mind begins to act in harmony with that belief. You start noticing new opportunities, you attract different people, you feel different energy. Faith rewires your brain, and with it, your destiny. But here's the truth few want to hear. Faith alone is not enough. It must be joined, hand in hand, with its twin force, persistence. Because no great vision comes to life without resistance, and no great person rises without struggle. Every truly rich man I ever studied, from Carnegie to Ford to Edison, they all shared the same trait. Not genius, not privilege, not luck, but raw, relentless persistence. They failed more than others even tried. They fell harder than most ever stood. But they got up, again and again, because their faith told them it was still possible. Persistence is to character what carbon is to steel. Napoleon Hill. Steel is not born soft, it is forged in fire. So is character, so is greatness, so is wealth. Let me ask you, how badly do you want it? Bad enough to be ignored, to be laughed at, to be misunderstood, bad enough to lose friends, to work in silence, to keep going when it feels like no one is watching? Because that's the test, not whether you can start, but whether you can keep going when it hurts. The world will tell you to quit. Circumstances will tempt you to turn back. Your own mind will whisper lies. This is too hard. It's not meant for you. Maybe it's better to play it safe. But those who become rich, not just in money, but in power, in legacy, in truth, they silence that voice. They fight that inner war, and they win it, one day at a time. Persistence is boring. It's not glamorous. It's waking up every day and doing the work, even when results don't come. It's making one more call, writing one more page, showing up again and again and again, even when it feels like nothing is changing, because faith tells you something is. Something is always changing in you. You're becoming stronger, more focused, more dangerous. And when the time is right, the results appear like magic. But they are not magic. They are the reward of quiet persistence. Let me tell you this. There will come a day when you'll be tired. Tired of trying. Tired of failing. Tired of believing when nothing's working. On that day, you will face a choice. Give in or go on. If you give in, you'll feel temporary relief, but it will be followed by a lifetime of regret. If you go on, you'll suffer a little longer, but you'll grow, and that growth will carry you to places you never imagined. You must build the habit of persistence like a muscle. Start small. Finish what you start. Show up every single day, no matter how you feel. Discipline your mind, strengthen your spirit, and never let your dream out of sight.
Because the truth is simple. Faith gives you the vision. Persistence makes it real. People will mock your faith. Let them. People will doubt your persistence. Let them. You are not building for their applause. You are building for your purpose, and no one can see it as clearly as you can. So keep going, even when it's dark, even when it's lonely, even when everything inside you wants to quit. Because if you do, one day they will ask you, "How did you do it?" And you will smile and say, "I believed when no one else did, and I kept going when everyone else stopped." This is the power of faith. This is the magic of persistence. Combined, they make you unstoppable, invincible, inevitable. The man who believes and never gives up, that man becomes rich in every sense of the word. So I leave you with this. You already have the dream. Now build the belief, build the discipline, build the will, and the world, yes, this very world, will bend to match your vision. Think, persist, and grow rich.